live stream again or no? Okay. Just hold on, guys. All right, we're recording. Perfect. Awesome. So, hey, that wasn't me. I'm just here. I'm just the messenger. Okay. All right. So, like I said, 500 minimum deposit for the Swiss fund. And then we got the crypto fund, same thing. Um, so this guy, Josh, right here that you're looking at, he has been trading since the age of 18. At 21, what he did is he took his last $20,000 and he planted it into certain gaming and AI projects. And in a couple of months, what ended up happening was he went from 20,000 to over $1 million. So he did about 8,000% in 2020. And ever since then, he's been trading full time. He's been managing several large accounts, including ours. So what he did is he came and he said, "Here, I'm opening up a fund. The minimum deposit is $50,000." So we ended up giving him 150,000, and since December, he's done about 110, 120% return. And so what we've done once again is we've became the bridge from these guys that actually know what they're doing to the retail investor, meaning you and I. Here comes Janet. And yeah, so the minimum deposit for the crypto fund is $500. It will be closing. So the Swiss fund is 24/7, 365. You can join it whenever. The crypto fund is a limited kind of time. So the reason why is because the way that Josh actually does this is he purchases the coins on behalf of everybody. He holds those coins for a certain amount of time. Once the bull run is done, then he sells them off, and then you could get your return. And so he says once it hits 80,000, once Bitcoin hits 80,000, then he will close out the fund. So if you haven't gotten into the fund, I would highly suggest getting into that. We can get you connected with Will, and he's onboarding people right now to help them with the crypto fund. And one of my favorites here is the transformational program with Don. Don has actually worked with 8 billionaires and the guys that actually created the BlackBerry phone. And so he actually ended up taking them from 6.8 billion to $68 billion by working with all of their C-class executives. He worked with, I believe, 60 plus executives. And so what he does is he has this program that he's developed over 44 years where he's able to ask very specific questions, which pulls out the very first trauma that they've ever experienced. And a lot of you maybe have experienced it. If you haven't, I highly suggest doing that for yourself. If there's one thing that I suggest, is really that. And the reason why is because it really changed things for me, right? So before I came into this community, I had been an entrepreneur for over 12 years. I made millions of dollars, lost millions. I was actually married at one point, was going through a divorce, was having panic attacks daily. I even remember at one point I was in Malaysia on the 48th floor penthouse, and I was contemplating suicide. And then I ended up meeting Don, and everything shifted for me. All of my addictions, whether it was marijuana or sex or people pleasing or validation, all of that was completely gone in this session, which only takes about 2 hours. And so it just completely shifted everything for me. And I had done lots of personal development. Maybe like some of you guys on this call, I had read thousands of books and, did the audio tapes. I went to workshops, transformational workshops. I did the breath work. I got certified in breath work, leadership, all of these different things in personal development. And the only thing that truly helped me get rid of my BS belief systems, that's what BS stands for, was this program. And so I'll give you a little bit of explanation of what exactly happens. So our natural state as humans is enlightenment. So for reference, Hitler was at a 75 consciousness. And this scale right here is actually from the book Power versus Force by Dr. David Robert Hawkins. And so he talks about every single emotion has a frequency, a level of consciousness. And so Hitler was at about 75. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, all the great teachers, they were at about a 700 to 1,000. And so that's our natural state. But most people on Earth, 80% of people on Earth are actually under the 210 consciousness. So they're under courage. And so, integrity is about 200. So 80% of the world is operating under integrity. So what Don is able to do is he's able to help anyone, if they're willing to go there, is take you from wherever you are on the scale and take you to your natural state, which is enlightenment. And a lot of you have experienced this. And if you haven't, once again, it's the most powerful thing that you'll ever experience. I mean, I was sitting at about 125 on a good day, which is why I had all the addictions. And in an instant, all that went away, and I just have been on this high, like this natural high. So it's one of those things that I can't even put into words. In fact, the word associated with the level of enlightenment is called ineffable. So the meaning of ineffable is a feeling so great or so extreme that it cannot be put into words. So if you're watching this call, I really wish for you to experience this like a lot of the people here in this room. So moving on, our final product, and actually we're coming out with some more, is our AI crypto trading software. A guy in the Dubai Crypto Expo claimed that he had a robot, an AI that had deep learning capabilities, meaning it just got better over time. And it was doing about 20 to 50% a month. So Jamie ended up meeting up with him. And sure enough, for the last couple of years, it had been consistently doing 20 to 50% a month. The average was about 27, 28%. And so we just got started with this. And yesterday, it just closed out a trade in 3% profit. So it's been like 4 or 5 days, 3%. That's pretty freaking awesome. We're actually going to be allowing a couple of you to become beta users, beta testers, in about a week or two. Once we've just verified that it's working the way it's supposed to. Obviously, 3% in a few days is pretty awesome, but we're just going to give it a little bit more time. But then we'll open up to you guys that want to be a part of that. So now we have one of my favorite things as far as awesome, Janet. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you posted on that. One of my favorite things is the lucrative partnership program. And the reason why I love it is because it changed my life many, many years ago. I was actually exporting cars at the age of 18. I was buying cars in the US, sending them off to different parts of the world, like Dubai, like Saudi, Cambodia, Dominican Republic, so on and so forth. And I actually earned my first six-figure income at the age of 18. So the thing about this was, I realized that you can earn money doing a lot of different things, but it's not about how much money you make, but it's how you make that money. Because there's several doctors or lawyers or whatever, and you're still trading time for money, even though you're earning really good money, right? For me, I was driving 80 hours a week. I was losing my health. I literally was living off of cigarettes and Red Bull. Like, talk about the worst diet ever, right? And so then I got introduced to a guy, and he showed me this networking thing, and I was a bit skeptical, not gonna lie. Like, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but I saw the potential of it, and then I ended up taking the risk. And the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk at all. And so I ended up getting into it. I did absolutely horrible my first go around. I barely made like $600 in a year. And then I gave it another go around, started to do a little bit better. And then I ended up hitting the top 1% of every company. And so, there is really an infinite income potential. I saw people that never even finish high school. They're earning millions of dollars. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, how is this even possible? right? I heard stories of people like literally like homeless, going from rags to riches. You know, they were a zero to a hero. And so it really opened up my eyes. And so when Jamie came and was like, let's turn this into an MLM, I was a little bit hesitant at first, but then I realized the power of this industry and how we're already doing this anyway. You go to a movie, you go to a nice dinner, you tell your friends about it, they go watch the movie, they go eat dinner. You don't get paid for that. But here, when you use our membership, you become a part of this ecosystem and you tell others about it. Guess what? We're gonna compensate you. And there's infinite income potential. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Now, the second aspect is the residual income, which is really powerful. You know, some of the ways that you can earn residual income, I'll give you an example. Michael Jackson or Drake or any of your favorite artists, they go to a recording studio, right? They make the song one time, they put it on iTunes one time, and then every single time someone purchases that song, they get paid over and over and over and over again. So that's one way you could earn residual income, which just means doing the work once and getting paid for it many, many, many times. And so another example would be purchasing real estate and then renting it out, right? But to purchase a property, you know, to earn $500 in residual income, that takes about $250,000 that you have to invest just to earn $500 in residual income every single month. And that doesn't include when someone breaks into the place, you gotta do something, you know, fix the roof, the toilet breaks, or whatever. So I don't know many places where you can actually earn a residual income with a very low to barely anything upfront cost, right? Like minimal overhead. And so there are no qualifications or experiences needed. And I'm a living example of that. I mean, I went to school. I was like, you know, I slept 7 out of 8 periods. I literally never did homework. I didn't even try to cheat on my homework. I didn't try to cheat on my tests. Like that's how I didn't try at all. And I came from a poor background, first generation American. At one point, I was addicted to alcohol. My blood alcohol level was probably higher than my GPA. And so um, allowing myself to be surrounded with the right information, the right mentorship, has allowed me to travel to over 25 different countries. I've helped probably like 2, 3 dozen people earn over a six-figure yearly income. I've made millions of dollars. I've had time freedom, location freedom. And so if I could do it, then you could do it. I mean, there's so many examples, so many stories of people that really had no business being in business, but ended up absolutely crushing it. So if you're watching this and you have an internet connection, guess what? You have everything that you need to be successful in this business. It's the easiest time in history to be able to actually succeed here. So the last aspect of this is that there's team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole team and a whole community that's going to support you on your mission and just make sure that you see success here. So we have several bonuses. We'll talk about that later. And like I said, you're not just joining a company, you're joining a community of people that are dedicated to your success. And right now we are actually in pre-launch. So it's been 8 days since we started pre-launch, which is really, really, really early. I just read this yesterday or a couple of days ago that if you invested $100 in NVIDIA, which is all about AI, if you invested in 2000, you would have about $600 million. So the reason I'm saying that is that's exactly where you are with Divinfi. You're at the very beginning of something huge. Now, I'm going to talk about this book right here, just a tiny bit. It was written by Robert Kiyosaki. It's called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And essentially what he said was that 5% of the population earned 95% of the wealth. And so the only path to financial freedom was there's two aspects. It was either becoming a big business owner or an investor. Now, the only ways that you're going to continue to be a slave to the system is if you're an employee or if you're self-employed, meaning let's say you have a flower shop or a nutrition shop or a smoothie king or whatever. You have to be there to actually earn income. So if you're an employee or a self-employed business owner, you're on the left side where you're utilizing active income. You put 8 hours in, you're going to earn income for 8 hours. Now, if you're a big business owner or if you're an investor, you're utilizing passive income. And so 4% of the population is financially free, and 1% of those 5% is actually wealthy. And now it's your choice on which side you want to be a part of. And so we're going to show you how you can actually become a big business owner utilizing systems and also an investor. So to give you a little bit of an insight, every single business, you're building a network of clients or a network of like salespeople or a network of people that you're working with and you're getting clients. And so it's not much different here, right? So you have two teams here. So you're gonna get paid off of the volume that is coming in to the community, into the ecosystem. And so the first rank is called inviter. You're gonna have your left team, you're gonna have your right team. So once you have two people on your left team, one person on your right, let's say it's your brother, your mom, and your sister, you're gonna earn yourself a weekly residual income of $25 a week. Pretty cool. That's $100 a month. All you did was invite people, something that you're already going to do. You're going to share the excitement with others. They're going to sign up, and then you're going to get paid. Now, the next rank is called Connector 500. You only need 3. So your mom, your brother, your sister, they did the exact same thing that you did. You taught them how to do exactly what you did. Now, on your left team, you got 10. Your right team, you got 10. It just duplicates that way. And you just got yourself a raise. $125 a week. That's $500 a month. Pretty cool. Like I said earlier, you needed about $250,000 just to earn $500 in residual income. And you did that like, I mean, you could do it in a day, a week, whatever, right? So now the next rank is called Connector 900. 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You only needed 3. Only 3 needed to come from you. You didn't need to know all 40 people, but now you have 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You're earning yourself $225 a week. That's $900 a month. Pretty cool. I mean, for most people around the world, in 80% of the countries, I mean, that's higher than their average monthly salary, right? And so starting to get nice and juicy here. Now, Connector 1500, 40 on your left, 40 on your right. Only 3 needed to come from you. And I'll give you an example. So we have Will here. In the last company, they had a very similar compensation plan to this, almost identical. And he had referred 3 people. And in about 3 months, he had hit this rank. At the time when he got started, his salary in the Philippines was about $300 a month. So in 3 months, he gave himself a 500% raise. It's pretty wild, you know. So, and like I said, he only brought 3, and those 3 ended up turning into 40 on his left, 40 on his right, and he is earning himself $375 a week. Pretty insane. So networker 3K, 75 on your left, 75 on your right. Only 3 need to come from you, $750 a week. That's $3,000 a month. And then it just continued to snowball, right? Like even if you wanted to stop, it would probably still keep building with or without you. So networker 5K, 200 on your left, 200 on your right. Only 4 needed to come from you. So you needed to directly sponsor 1 more person, and you'd be making 5,000. Can you move me? Sorry. Yeah. Whee. Okay. $5,000 a month. So I'm not going to go through all of the ranks. I'm just going to show you how crazy this income can get. $9,000 a month, $15,000 a month, So I'll give you a little story. Because maybe some of you are like, dude, I don't know, I've never made that kind of money. Or maybe you have made that kind of money and you're like, I have to work really, really hard to earn $15,000 a month. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy here, but what I'm going to say, it's definitely easier than working a job and having to clock in and clock out. And so I actually had a friend, her name was Tiffany, and it was like 7, 8 years ago. She was a waitress. She was a waitress earning less than $2,000 a month. And within 3 months, she was earning $15,000 a month, and she never did a single presentation. All she did was invite people to the Zoom, to the daily meetings, and show the plan. And when they sign up, guess who got credit? Tiffany. Her mom, same thing, over $10,000 a month. She never did a single presentation. Her uncle, he just came from Vietnam a few months before that. He was earning over $10,000 a month, never did a single presentation. So all you have to do is plug into the system, and system just simply stands for saving you some time, energy, and money. So you plug into the system. We have these calls every single day, multiple times a day, actually 3 times a day. We're here at 7 p.m. Dubai, 11 p.m. Dubai, and then 3 a.m. Dubai. So we're here for you guys to help you duplicate this. And so all you do is just invite them here. And we also have the training on how to build this effectively without trying to run around with like a chicken with your head cut off, right? It's very simple. So like you say, like you see right here, it's like 25, 50, 75, $100,000 a month. It really just depends on where you want to be. It goes up to $1 million a month here on this slide, and then $8 million a month. So we're not saying that money's everything, but let's get the money conversation out of the way so you can start to actually have freedom. You can do things that you actually care about. I mean, our main thing that we wanted to do before we ever started this company was to help raise the entire consciousness of humanity. But we know that you need both. You need to have the consciousness aspect, and you also need to have the money aspect. One without the other is just, it doesn't work. You're infinite. So you might as well have them both. So how do you get started? So I think this is the wrong slides, but so we have one package. It's called the Freedom Pack. It's $235 startup the first month, and then it's $149 a month. You get the Swiss fund, you get the crypto fund, you get Don's transformation, you get the international debit card for both crypto and fiat, and you get the AI crypto trading software. So you get all of that, plus some new products, which we actually use a wrong slideshow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. You get all of that for only $149 a month. So, yep, it's not just a financial system here. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So how do you get started? You want to go back to the person that invited you to this presentation, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the video, and ask them for their unique link. And you're going to sign up with that link so that way they get the credit. And if you're already in the system, what I would highly suggest you do, if you've never done the transformation with Dawn, you want to sign up for the transformation. It's this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Dubai time. And if you've already done it, then you want to come to the Thursday at same time, 9 p.m. And for all the new people, make sure that you are answering this questionnaire. Just scan the QR code. That way, I mean, it's more for you so you can understand what is holding you back. And if you want to stay connected with us, here's our QR code. It has all of our social medias. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the in the chat box below. Make sure that you get those answered. And yeah, we're gonna have another 2 meetings here in a couple of hours. I think 4 hours from now, or 3 hours. Wait, I'm really bad at math. At 11 p.m. Dubai time, and then at 3 a.m. Dubai time. So, yep, super exciting. Thank you for being here. We'll see you here in a couple of hours. And